So you want to be an account executive, and lucky for you, that's what I do right now. I've been doing it for the last 5 years, and I'm going to give you a no BS, straightforward answer as to what do I do day to day in my job. I'm going to tell you everything from the pressure to the money, all of that juicy stuff that most people have no idea unless you're actually in it. And lastly, I'm going to talk about whether I think it's still worth it to be an account executive in 2025. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, firstly, we got to set the foundation and talk about what an account executive is super quickly here. It is important to understand that an account executive is working new business, new sales, if you will. So you're not selling to active customers. That would be account management, which is not what we're talking about. An account executive is someone that is getting completely new prospects to purchase your product or service and to convert them into becoming a customer. Now there's two funnels, if you will, of how you're closing these deals. You're essentially a sales closer, and you've got inbound sales and you've got outbound sales, which are very different. Inbound sales is exactly that, it's inbound. So people are coming towards you, they're warm, they're already interested, maybe because of marketing content that they've seen, maybe they have a very current, pain or problem they're trying to solve. And then they visited the company website and they filled out like a demo form or a contact form because they want to speak to someone in sales. On the other side of the spectrum, you've got outbound sales, which is reaching out totally cold to people who don't know you exist. And this could be via cold calling, it could be cold emails, or it could be even cold LinkedIn direct messages. And you're trying to create awareness of your product, and you're trying to find the ideal fit and start building those relationships totally cold to then also close deals with your target audience for the product or service. So now that we understand what an account executive is doing, it's a salesperson, you're closing deals from inbound and outbound sales. Most account executives do both, by the way. It's very rare to be just inbound or just outbound. Usually you've got a mix of both. All right, so what does the day actually look like being an account executive? Let's start with top of the morning. You're working remotely. Most tech account executives are remote jobs. So you're starting your day, you open your computer, whether it's from home or in your co-working space that you're going to, and you're checking your calendar to see what meetings you have for the day. I'm seeing what external meetings I have today with prospective customers. I'm also looking at meetings I have internally with my team so that I can mentally prepare for the type of day I have ahead. And I'm also doing this because I need to know if I need to prep before my customer calls. Okay, so the second thing you're doing is you're looking at your pipeline. And what you mean by pipeline is any active deals that you're currently working. So you will have a CRM, which is a customer relationship management software. The CRM is like your main tool in sales. It's where you track all of the engagement you're having with prospective customers, different leads you're chasing. You've got all that data, all of your notes in there, emails, phone numbers of people you need to reach out to. You might be looking at your CRM to say, okay, I'm talking to this business today. What are the notes I have on file? What do I already know about them? And that helps you prepare and plan for your day. Okay, so the third thing you gotta do as an account executive is kind of an obvious one, is you're just in meetings during the day. I know it sounds really obvious, but that's kind of the core essence of what an account executive is. You're gonna be in meetings every single day. Sometimes it could be one meeting in the day, sometimes it could be 6 meetings in a day. And by meetings, I mean over Zoom, and it could be anywhere from a 15-minute chat to a 1 to 2 hour demo where you're demoing the software to them and trying to close the deal. Now, a lot of these sales deals might take several meetings to close. So maybe today you're doing a deeper dive software demo where you're sharing your screen, sharing your Zoom screen, and you're showing them the software, maybe to a bigger group on their side of the business. And then maybe, that's going to lead to the next step where you're looking at pricing, and that could be a meeting you're doing with them tomorrow. You've also got internal meetings as well, where maybe you're meeting with, your sales manager or the director or the whole department is meeting together to talk about new products that are releasing, or maybe there's sales processes that have changed. You definitely get used to the whole meetings thing. Before I became a tech account executive, I was a little bit nervous about having to do meetings every single day. But it does become second nature. You start to relax. It doesn't stress you out. It's just a part of the job. Okay, that brings us to number 4, which is prospecting and outbound sales. Bit of a spicy topic. Not a lot of people love this part of the job, but it is a part of being an account executive. And what I mean by prospecting is you're doing cold calling or maybe cold LinkedIn messages or cold emailing. And it's important to do this because it helps you build up your pipeline, as we say. So you're gathering more accounts that could have a future possibility of closing down the line once you've created more engagement with those people. What this can look like is about 30 minutes of doing some research. Maybe you're organizing 10 to 20 businesses that are a really good fit for your product and service. So you need to do that research beforehand. And then maybe you're doing 1 hour or an hour and a half of cold calling to try to book a Zoom meeting with them. You're not trying to directly sell them your product or service because you're reaching out cold. So obviously they're not just gonna buy from you on the spot. That would be a bit crazy. It's a bit more of a long-term game. You're trying to create a connection, build a relationship. You're trying to pique their curiosity to want to book a Zoom meeting with you. And then ideally in Zoom, then you can share your screen, show them the software a little bit, ask them questions. Of course, you're trying to learn about them and if they're trying to solve any challenges at the moment that your product or service could be a good fit for. So that ideally takes about 1 to 2 hours in your day. You don't always have time to do outbound, but it is an important part of the role because it sets you up for success in the future so that you've got a lot of accounts that are speaking with you and are going to potentially close deals with you as well. Okay, so now you're at the end of your day as an account executive, and now you're just doing a tiny bit of review, and you're also looking at what tomorrow looks like. So you're always looking at future meetings, how you can set yourself up for success for tomorrow. Maybe that just takes you about 20 minutes, half an hour to do. And then your day is done. You've successfully completed a day as an account executive. Okay, so this brings us to our last topic, which is whether I think it's worth it to be an account executive in 2025. And I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion. Yes, I do think it's worth it, with a little asterisk symbol there. I'll explain why. Overall, it is a great job. You can make really good money. And most of these jobs are fully remote, so you can work from anywhere as long as you're in the same time zone or within the same country or continent. So there's great work-life flexibility there. And of course, the money side is definitely good. What the asterisk is I think you need to be someone that is good at managing stress and expectations because there is a lot of stress and expectations involved. That took me a little bit of time to get used to. But you know what? As long as you put your head down, you put in, your good 8-hour workday, and you just control the controllables, then honestly, the rest just kind of comes into place for you. And understanding that really helped me get rid of all of the stress and expectations that were kind of hanging over my head. And if you can manage that part, it is a great job. Definitely the high paying salary and money you can make does come with that stressful side. If you're curious about how I got my tech job with no experience at all, I did make a video, which I'm gonna share somewhere over here, about how I broke into the tech industry with no experience. Feel free to check that video out if you're wondering how you can break in yourself, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.